Seth was right when he said,
Themed by Alicesoft, same guys who made one of my favorite games, Sengoku Rance.
this is a game that would make my top 10 if not for it being a...
Does she really want me to teach her about riding the love salami?
Please, Kentaro.
Yes!
I'm implying that I love this game. This is Sengoku Rance, or Rance 7 depending on what you want to go by. You're playing as Rance with his trusty slave Syl the mage, as the adventure brings them to Japan to hook up with Japanese girls. Good choice. Becoming the secret lord to expand the Oda Empire, this Nobunaga is mentally and physically unable to, while Rance, on the other hand, will do anything if it means dipping his egg roll into some sweet and sour sauce. This is a JRPG where instead of 6 characters standing in one spot, waiting for their turn, you have armies standing in one spot, waiting for their turn. I want to talk about this game if it was that simple though. You have a set amount of turns per battle, and everything you do is reliant on how you use them, because you don't win by defeating every enemy, even though that is a way. You win by having higher morale, and the battle is purely a game of tug of war, but with a lot more tactics and manipulation than raw power, even though raw power is fun. Each class and commander has a role to play in getting a victory, from supports, tanks, DPS, and even front and back lines. Since each unit has a set amount of moves and some skills use more than one ability point, a standard strat would be to kill the guys with more moves and save the commanders without for last, because they won't be able to attack. Or target the DPS and support, leaving tanks for last, but that's where the game gets good. Each commander has a troop count. This is your HP bar. No more troops, no more fighting. Sometimes permanently. It's also a magnifier for damage. Less troops, less damage. So maybe you have that 50 troop samurai unit alive while his backline monk or foot soldier gets pelted with arrows and can't do anything about it. Now all that samurai unit can do is wait, or even better, attack your wall of spearmen and save you a move, so now your front line can attack their back line because no one's left to protect them. Hell, sometimes you need to hope your last attack does enough to kill the unit, or enough troops to get that morale boost you need to win, and vice versa. Let's talk classes, starting with foot soldier, or spearman, or Akatsuki? To put it simple, the tank, the Ashigaru, use a skill called Ally Guard, with each use building a percentage chance to take damage for their team. Starting with the Neo Guard and the regular Guard, you can block everybody in that row. With All Guard, this protects the whole team, but with a lower percentage of block chance. They need high defense and intelligence stats for physical and magical defense. Ashigaru units are cheap to recruit, meaning massive troop sizes. Samurais are your frontline damage, having some of the best commanders in the game, frontline to frontline. Everything they do is to buff damage or do damage. You'll always seem to be hitting tanks, but when you're not, you're one or two shotting everything in the game. Samurai have one real utility skill in Mercy Charge. This really helps in capturing some of the OP characters in the game. Archers are your long range damage dealers. Not as strong as other long range classes till you bump up their troop size. Good thing they're cheap though. Tacticians are the archers you want. Do the same damage and give a random buff to the whole army of damage, defense, intelligence, speed, and they start with the fight with buffs. You can cast buffs if you don't get the ones you need, and cancels the enemy's buffs. Then you got the Miko, the healers, with single target and AoE healing spells. And then you get one of the best offensive skills in the game with Miko Storm. Miko Storm 2 being used by only one character, and it kills 30% of the opposing army, and it might make her the best character in the game. Monk is a frontlines unit, sorta, because they can only attack from the front lines, but everything else they do is a support skill, from canceling tank guards, healing themselves, adding turns to the battle to last longer, and in dungeons, giving up their AP to their stronger allies, so they have more turns to fight. And this is really key for boss battles. Then you got your diviners, with one of the better defensive skills in casting shields on one or the entirety of your army, which can save a lot of damage. And then specialize on long range attacks. Everything from AoEs that need preparation to single target damage, all based on their intelligence stats and their troop sizing. Let's talk about the map. Click on any stage and your options appear in the top left corner. They're color-coded events for what stats you need to succeed. Blue, construction, building natural power, national power, and to prepare for the next battle, giving you some morale boost. Yellow, negotiating for recruiting generals on the map and prison and declaring war. Green, search for dungeons, gear, or people. Red, battle, fights for money, gear, and going into dungeons. Gray, non-essential stuff. Talk to commanders, upgrade their stats and skills at 7 out of 7, and meet your reinforcement. Purple, important story and character progress and Rance's satisfaction. Relationships are important for getting character stories and clears and upgrading your commanders, and more importantly, female commanders can raise Rance's satisfaction. Every 10 points of satisfaction, you choose a perk. Reinforcements, stats, items, relationships, points, and army buffs. And the big one at 50 points, you get a third action per turn. Rush to get this. If you can get this at a minimum of turn 13. You'll need officers to lead your army and to do all the tasks and fight for you. Get them 3 main ways. Story events, negotiations in your own states. The way you get most of your crew will be from putting them in jail and giving them the generous option of joining your army or rotting away. You can release people, just never do anything but 5 at a time. Not 4 or 6. And don't be cute and do 10, because every 5 you release give you a rare candy or, a free level up. This is a big deal later for boss battles. But how do you capture them? How do you capture them, you ask? Well, it's random. Unless you use a warrior hunt, or even better, mercy charge to pick your targets. Now you got the crew you want. What gear then do you put on them? You get permanent stat buffs from the books, to equipping items that do everything from damage, defense, troop upgrades, gold per turn, and other passive stats. Like, let me show you 2 of my favorites. Akashi Kuzumari is a weak character. When you get him using stat books to up to 6 points across the board, then by doing a search for his friend Anua, which we'll talk about in a little bit, finding Hibachi, increasing Rance's stat again, then having her join Akashi for 2 more points, do everything across the board, becoming 8. Then, even though I didn't need to, and people will probably you'll be mad that I did this, I gave him an Imperial Sword to make all of his fighting stats 9. Then you got Yuzahara Yuzuma, the female musketeer with Snipe Shoot. This has the ability to insta-kill and do massive damage, but she only has 1 turn, until you give her the Working Bead. At the cost of half of your troops, you get 2 more actions. But it's only half when first put on, so your late game is strong, and that's not even including the action books you can equip. Each group you go to war with has its own storyline. Like the first target, Haru's Shoji Hara. The Lord is manipulated by his wife to fight Oda because he's a coward. Akashiki tries to bribe Oda, so Rance does what Rance does, killing the messenger and starting war after getting his ass kicked, blackmails Izoroku, an elite archer, to stop Rance trying her best sniper elite to kill Rance. She fails, but you lose the fight. Akashi has a cool story of using magical dolls named Nuha to hold your armies at bay, since their army is no match. Azakara is really bad off, because their princess has to negotiate with a monster man for help, so he can release his beast army against the foreigner Rance. Everyone has a story of how to survive against Rance and the Oda clan. Now the main story is all about Nobunaga and the 8 sacred gourds used to seal the fiend Xavier, Nobunaga's pet monkey Tokuchirio. Well, that's what we're going with. Who breaks the gourd and releases a part of the demon into Nobunaga, and soon uses Rance and party to defeat the clan so that he has easier access to the rest of the gourds. Now, like a mediocre MOBA, this game has a hard snowball effect, because those gourds are important. Because after 6 are destroyed, you'll be locked into stopping the demon army, and that means beating 3 boss battles in a row. And if you can't do this, well, you might be loading a save 5 to 20 turns back to level up or find better teammates. Now let's talk tactics, so maybe this won't happen to you. Using the capturing skills to get strong allies, and releasing them for level ups. Getting Rance satisfied up to 50 by turn 17. For your third action fan. Now, while fighting other clans, you will have to consider when and where to attack and defend. Since every territory has 2 to 4 lands to capture, and since each officer has only 1 action per turn, you need to delegate who is attacking, so you have people to defend with or attack again. You only need to defend the land that you've taken from them, so you don't lose progress. They need all the land to take a territory, and so do you. Abuse it. Once you destroy a clan, you own everything. And there's always saves coming. Now, planning how to get the characters you want is all about this 8 gourds and where they are. It's good to know that it doesn't matter who conquers these clans, because they will still break that gourd. You can stop this from happening by going to war with multiple clans at the same time. Mostly because the Mori and the Takeda armies will take advantage of certain groups that you're not fighting. But if, say, you fight the Asugi and the Hanjo at the same time, they can't take the other group because they're fighting you. Same with the Kashi and the Tenshin with the Mori, because once you attack one group, they'll take advantage of the other, capturing them. Now, I can't separate the main story of Sengoku Rance and the tactics that you'll need throughout the game. I'll have to talk about major events and enemies you'll deal with. If you want to play this game, buy it on Manga Gamer for $35. Now that you know spoilers are ahead, you fight the Demon King, defeating him but not killing him. Soon he kills or manipulates everyone not ruled by Oda, because the only people with weapons able to kill a fiend are all in Oda. So how can anyone else stop the Demon King? The demon army rises to destroy Japan using powerful soldiers, demons, and his unbelievably powerful apostles, doing everything from fighting you on the battlefield to creating the deadly soulbinder units that are zombies. They infect your troops, causing permanent troop damage, so don't let them attack. You get one objective: survive. Since Xavier can't stop killing the humans of Japan, he can't resupply his human troops. So eventually he loses all ground, and at the edge of defeat, using his most powerful forces, and even uses a demon capable of rapid growth through torture, growing so big it will sink Japan, putting you on a timer to win this horrible war to destroy humankind. Then we got New Game Plus. That's where this game really shines. Wait. Where the fuck are my points? seems like some versions have anti-theft protection. Can't say how I would find that out, but you use points that you gain from beating the game and different bonuses like clan bonuses that change the... well, you use those points that I don't have that you gain from beating the game. Doing multiple tasks, you receive them from character clears to endgame points and special objectives that change the story mode, like killing the monkey. Characters that start in your army, even starting with any item you've collected throughout your playthrough. My favorite being picking the Juzos, that each one you have gives 10% extra gold each turn, or even the popularity staff. 20 troops per turn? Do I even need to say how good this is? And even choose the difficulty. But why would you need to do this? Well, New Game lets you complete 6 new campaigns, most with different mechanics and all new stories to tell. Even letting you recruit new allies, get new items, and see more of the character stories to completion. Putting all of this together, you have one addictive game because of how great the strategies you use constantly. From RNG to battle to when and where and how and who to wage war against, who gets what item, how to use your best characters, and when. Because you never know when that one mistake cascades into an uncompletable disaster. You can even make a makeshift Iron Man mode by only playing through autosaves. I love this game. And if you can't trust me, trust Seth.
Same guys who made one of my favorite games, Sengoku Rance.
If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Look in the description below, and you can subscribe to my BitChute, or if you're on BitChute, subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Game over.